So metal. What is up, everybody? Welcome to HotMakes.
We're live. Yeah, my bad. What's up, everybody? Welcome to HotMakes, right here on the edge of tech, where we aim to educate and entertain the maker community. That was for you guys in the hair contest. You know who I'm talking about, Brian Vines. Come on. Pooch, how you doing?
Fantastic, my man. Looking good. Had a great weekend. My folks visited for the first time in over a year, which is awesome now that we got some vaccines going on and all that stuff. So hopefully all of you guys are starting to get to see some family and hang out too. It was really just awesome. Was happy to do that. How about you? How was your weekend? What'd you do?
My weekend was good. I did a pilot work from home last week, so I've actually been home for like 10 days now. So tomorrow I finally go back. But I have to say, I blame Joel because now I have the allergies. I'm going to call it allergies, but this sucks.
It is
I got like a little cold. I got cough going on. So it started when we had Joel on the stream. Then it went to you. And now it hit me after our stream last week, like on Tuesday. And now my whole family has it. So it's, I'm blaming Joel.
That's a serious virus to be transmissible via,
video transmitted virus. That's what it is. It's a VTV.
Bad news.
Yeah. If that was real, that would not be good. Anyways, Dave and Tobin and Brian Vines, have this whole hair thing since Joel's video last week. So I came in with the hair flying around. So that was my clip for you guys. Maybe I'll tweet it out later.
Can you do the swirl? Can you do the full on?
I've never tried the swirl. I got a swirly when I was young, but that's a different thing, I think.
Man, I am excited for today. We got an awesome show for you guys. We got a ton of HotMakes to look at. We've already had commentary in the chat. Chat's blowing up about the Star Wars theme. Of course, this is an homage to our guest today. So I donned my formal wear. You got your Vader #1 dad. And it's gonna be a good show. So stay tuned. We got Chris Pirillo, the one and only, coming up, which we're really excited about. As well as some other awesome stuff. What else we got coming up today, Jim?
Well, today we got not only what you just said. The big thing is Chris Pirillo. We have some HotMakes. We have a $50 gift card to Amazon, courtesy of Thangs. As you can see at the bottom, sponsored by Thangs. Thank you so much, Thangs. And don't forget that we are doing a torture toaster contest, and it ends next Monday. I believe we'll actually find the winners next Monday. We are looking for the biggest and the smallest functioning torture toasters. It has to be above 270%. There you go. And under
270 is the big boy record so far?
I believe so. And little, I don't think we really had a real working small one. I know someone, I'm not going to give it away, not going to give you any clues unless you go find it on Twitter, but someone posted one today that functions at a it's little, it's awesome. So go find it. Yeah, I can't wait. And they're doing $100 Amazon gift card to the biggest, plus a roll of filament. They told me that this past week. So $100
throwing goods at us, man.
Plus a roll of filament, because it's going to take at least that to get there. And then also for the smallest one, $100 to Amazon as well. So check that out. We're going to tag hashtag HotMakes torture toaster on Twitter and let us know.
There it is right there. There's your tag.
Yeah.
Don't forget to use it when you do awesome things, even if it's not a torture toaster. So for those of you, first of all, if you don't know what a torture toaster is, shame on you for not being followed, because we're all about toasters, here. But the amazing Clockspring, which we've had on the show twice now, did this model, and it's an awesome little one. It's just a fun print, and two, it's a great torture test. There it is. There's a big one. And what else does it do, Jim? What else does it do besides?
Well, you got the gears.
Yeah,
it pops open, and you got some
what are we looking at there?
Overhangs and
test.
tolerance test, exactly, for sure. There you go. You got some tolerance tests in there, which is awesome.
Yep.
Of course, the toast. Yeah.
Yep.
And I saw a couple. We're actually going to see on HotMakes tonight. Some people out there saying, "Hey, this is my new go-to torture." It takes a bit, but that's the point. It's a torture test.
Yeah.
And Filament Frenzy, I'm calling you out. You teased us with a special Filament Frenzy version. But you never showed us if it worked or not. So
it's coming.
I'm calling you out.
He loves to put those in his back pocket. And boom, he's like, I'm going to leave this here when you least expect it. Right. He's just like littering the internet with awesomeness. That's what he does.
Someone asked me which percent what I'm talking about, the 40 or the 30. I'm not going to say who it is or what. Go find it on Twitter because I don't want to give away what percent is the biggest and smallest right now because then someone's going to try to go do them outdo them by 1% or something. You do your biggest and your smallest, and we'll compare them next week. Also, let's see. Thangs is in the house. I know we have a new rep. Yeah, we got a new representative. I don't think it's not Joanna anymore.
It's not Joanna.
So Thangs.
Already.
I know. So Thangs, introduce yourself. Say hi. Let us know your name, and we'll watch in the comments. And say hi, everybody, to our new Miss Thang.
New Miss Thangs. All right.
She comes. Awesome. I'm not going to give it away. We'll talk about it later. But she comes from the video gaming industry, from one of the biggest games out there. It's awesome. So I'm pretty pumped to work with her. Going forward, what do we got here? Robert George. Y'all see my 30% working. Nice. That's awesome.
All right. There's a giveaway right there. And thank you for the $2 donation. Yeah. We appreciate that very much.
Oh, hey, Robert, if you tagged us on Twitter, hashtag HotMakes, at, what are we doing? Hashtag HotMakes and Torture Toaster.
Torture Toaster, yeah.
All right. I was thinking we should start throwing in there at HotMakes Live, right? But, hey, look, the Penguin's back.
Which you're getting ahead of the game. I mean, I feel like that's the big that's another announcement. I mean, it was our big announcement last week, but we definitely need to do another announcement because we have homework for you guys. You got to help us out.
There you go. Becky, she's with us. She just joined the team last week. She worked in video games before this with League of Legends and other big titles. So welcome, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hey, but you know what? I tell you what, we were gone 12 minutes. Well, actually, we're a little late. So we got like 10 minutes. We need to bring in our special guest. What do you think?
Let's bring him in. Let's just throw him straight in. Feet to the fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead.
Without further ado, the one, the only, Chris Pirillo.
Chris,
what is up, buddy?
Wow, and the crowd goes wild.
Wild.
Wait, do you have a disco light?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Nice.
Yeah, he's partying, man.
That's a good question. I do, actually.
So my question for you is, are you just wearing your Star Wars shirts today, or do you do them like me and like every day? In fact,
much.
Go ahead.
Pretty much most days. Oh, yes.
Show us what you got. Oh, he's got the jams. Ooh, very nice.
Whoa,
and my white socks that you saw.
And the socks.
White socks.
Full. That I mean, is it the whole? Is the whole ensemble Star Wars today? Ensemble?
I'm not gonna go that far with y'all.
Not revealing that.
I'm definitely not revealing that. The only thing I'm gonna reveal is Nerdy J. I've got a point of contention because I 3D printed this the other day, so it's true. I am the greatest dad. You can be number one dad. I am the greatest dad. What is that like? Is that? Do that again. I could time my look. If I knew it was coming.
3, 2, 1. There it is.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's this since I 3D printed it. It's true.
That's pretty much
it. Must be.
I got this off the internet, and the internet is true on everything. So
yeah. Okay, that's fair. You trumped me.
As far as it's every day, we're certainly not on your level, Chris.
Yeah.
I wear my Star Wars every once in a while. Like I say, I bust out the formal wear every now and then. But I know you've got so much of it. You got to cycle through it. How do you even pick?
I don't know. I just kind of walk into the closet and look and wonder, well, wait a minute, what have I not worn in a while? And let me give you a better view here very briefly. So yeah, I pulled back. You should be able to see even more behind me. And that's just part of it. Like, this is just part of my room. Like, the other parts got even more. Like, this is just where the camera is sitting, and I can't maneuver it that easily. But
and that's not even your wardrobe, I'm sure
it's not.
Closet's full.
One
Oh,
closet. My
one
wife
closet.
only. Yeah, she's trying to elbow me out of that. She's like, "Well, you have like a whole rack." I'm like, "Dang, you got the rest of the closet. I have like a rack."
Well, listen,
You should
before
tell
we
your-
get too far into the Star Wars stuff, because we're going to talk Star Wars, you got to tell the people that aren't familiar with you who you are, what you do. You know, give us your origin story, man. Tell us where you came from and why you're. There it is. There's Loyal.
I came from Loyal
Long
Moses.
time no see, Loyal.
See, you know you're in good company when Loyal Moses joins the stream. You know you're going to have a good night. Just trust me on that. He changes lives.
He sure does.
So I don't know how to explain this. I know I'm the weirdo here because I'm the only one who streams on Twitch. So I stream on Twitch every night at 6 p.m. So after this stream, I'll be hopping over to my nightly stream. And I'm usually 3D printing something now, having just recently gotten into 3D printing, not really being much of a hardware enthusiast or a maker or a crafter. It's been a great conversation piece. It's been awesome to, like last night, print some, Death Star components to be able to mix and match and have fun with that. I'm blown away with the amount of Star Wars awesomeness that is now in my life. And yes, and other things, with 3D printing. But for context, I started my career on the internet back in the mid 90s as a Locker Gnome, which was an email newsletter. And, before Google existed and, half the internet anymore. I was distributing a lot of help and how to, specifically software, help and how to, and interesting internet websites that were services before SaaS was a thing. It was going out to a couple 100,000 people. And it wasn't long after that I'd authored a book on email publishing and then got plucked out of the cornfields of Iowa and moved to San Francisco to host a daily television program called Call for Help on Tech TV.
Maybe you've heard of it, everyone. Yeah.
Some people have. It's a drinking game in the on Twitch. When someone joins and they start following to chat, and the first thing they say is, "Oh, I remember you from Tech TV Call for Help," and then we've got a trigger warning. It was a trigger that basically says, "Everyone take a drink," because it happens so frequently. But it's always nice to know that people know that I'm not dead. Yes.
So you started, in Iowa, right? Which is, I'm in Wisconsin, so very close to where you came from. And then you went to Tech TV.
Yeah.
I think we have a clip. Do we have a clip, Geary? I don't know if you met Geary. He's our AI, but I'm pretty sure we have a clip of that. Let's jump that in.
Sure, it's a good one.
Gigahertz. Basically, this is just how fast your computer processes your requests and moves information in your computer.
Exactly. And once the CPU receives the command from a program, it needs a place to store the information it processes. The fastest storage medium in your computer is known as RAM, or Random Access Memory. When you run a program on your computer, the CPU stores the information the program needs in memory. Now, more RAM generally means your computer runs more efficiently, even faster. One big essential internet program is called a browser. This lets you access the World Wide Web. This www consists of pages of information, and a web browser will display those pages.
Nice.
Amazing. How's that for a blast from the past, my friend? You remember that?
Yeah, I the only reason I got that job was because I could answer questions without turning to a search engine. Well, and I had no problem in front of the camera with no experience. So
you're
I've been
natural.
comfortable. Yeah. That's why I like doing I've always been a fan of live streaming. That's why I kind of find myself on Twitch.
So I got to tell you, man. So I grew up in the Bay Area, in Cupertino, South Bay, home of Apple computers.
Yeah.
And I'm old enough that I remember Tech TV, and I remember very much remember watching Call for Help, seeing you, just like having that connection. I know a lot of people out there are in the same boat, and it's funny listening to you talk about that stuff now, and we all like, oh yeah, RAM, browser, but back in the 90s, like this was still very new to people.
Dude,
very like,
yeah, USB was new,
right? And just, you're absolutely right. I mean, sometimes just having the ability to explain things in a way that's just relatable. You're obviously, you're smiling, you're having fun. you know, you're a natural choice for this type of thing. So tech has obviously been a big part of your life for quite some time now.
Yeah, it has, but not in the same way. And I'm not saying I find myself at odds with the greater tech enthusiast community, but in many ways I find myself at odds with the greater tech enthusiast community because I mean, I care, but I don't care. Like it's never the thing. It's what the thing does. So tech to me is not a destination so much as it's an enabler, which is counter to the culture where, ooh, it's a shiny new gadget. And I need it. Why? Like the thing you have, right? And don't get me wrong. I mean, I live on upgrades as well, but you know, I find myself with, you know, satisfied to a deeper level talking about, you know, what a 3D printer does rather than what it is. So I'm the last person to, you know, answer any, you know, deep questions about it. But that said, just in the time, a couple of months that I started with the 3D printer, a Prusa Mini Plus, it was sent as a review unit. I'm grateful. I'm not as big as y'all are. I don't have sponsors or anything, but I got the 3D printer. But I have to say too, we've done filament giveaways. So I've found that by engaging that community, and you know, and having fun, but maybe not geeking out at the same level, it's provided a little bit more entertainment, a little bit more flavor to the mix, as opposed to something like a Jewel Telling stream where he's setting something up. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but I'm gonna have fun. And you know, so it kind of fits on a different side of the spectrum. I know I've sold at least 9 or 10 of them just by printing something out. So it's not me saying, look, I got a 3D printer. Anybody can do that. It's what I'm printing. It's what I'm showing. Look, oh my God, you could do this. Now, maybe this is not the best example. It's just, you know, one example that I have that's in arm's reach, but the nature of the beast, you know, when it comes to tech and tech talk is so mired in navel gazing for me that I tune out. Like people ask, well, what do you watch when you've got in your off time? I don't know. Whatever's on TV. I watch entertainment like everybody else. Well, what tech stuff do you watch? I don't. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
I get plenty of that.
I'm good. Yeah. I'll tune into a new streaming show any day of the week and usually do. That's escapism for me. But that's also another reason why for Star Wars, and I've been a fan since the 80s. You know, that to me is the thrill, right? I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am a tech fan, but I'm a fan of tech because of what it does for me as a fan of Star Wars or as a fan of entertainment or as someone who enjoys talking and communicating to other people. We were on the weekends now, I'm doing retro stuff, you know, talking about what it was like. Now it's interesting. Chris,
you have to abide by the freeze. Okay. Now the rules of the freeze, if anybody has followed his Twitch stream, is he is not able to. Unfortunately, we don't have any bits to throw, so it'll have to be, you know, somebody has to unfreeze him by means of another super sticker or super
Someone
chat.
Did.
There it
Someone
is.
Did. Okay, thank you.
There it is. Thank you.
Great. Just a little fun.
Hey, just a quick heads up before we get too far. Fix'em Dude, thank you so much for your donation. Ethan's dad, thank you guys so much. Yeah. See, Practical Printing got you with the freeze there.
But they're the people. They're honestly, I consider them a part of my community. I know those usernames because they're there darn near every night, and we're chatting, whatever. But then, you know, something happens. We talk about that. It's not just about 3D printing. 3D printing just so happens to be like one of those things that we might cover on any given night.
Sure.
But I've had a chance to learn. I've had a chance to teach vicariously and enable other people to learn because there are people within the greater 3D community who have been incredibly supportive. So yeah, I'm very grateful that the community that I found has been incredibly supportive. David,
that's a long freeze. We're never gonna get through the whole show here if you guys keep freezing Chris. So
we try turning it off and on again.
Yeah, that's good advice. It's our reboot. So we enjoy having fun, but I'm wondering if we're gonna have to do we put a limit on the? I don't know if there's a rule on that.
I don't know.
It's good. Trust me.
There it is.
Let it play out, guys. Trust me. Let it play out. Just let it always fixes itself.
Okay.
Always fixes itself. Hey, real
Now, are
quick.
we obligated to freeze too, or is it just?
Oh, that's a
Chris?
good
No,
question.
you can just. I'll let it be me. It's just a little game that we play. People can use channel points on Twitch. So the more you engage, the more points you get, and they can exchange those points for a feature that I call freeze frame. And so anybody can basically freeze me in place. And then to unlock me, you tip or donate or sub or gift a sub. So you do something. And it's a fun, silly little game that we play.
Thank you guys so much for the support. We appreciate that. Hey, Ben Brady says at Pooch, I was on Call for Help with Chris on September 13, 2001.
What was it? Not Black Ice? No, Black. What was the program? Wasn't it?
How do you remember this?
Because was it Black Ice? It was a network, like a firewall before firewalls were firewalls back in the day for Windows. Because I was a software enthusiast. See, that's another thing. The hardware, like, okay, that's cool, yeah, but like, give me the software, dude. Like, you can talk about something new all day long, but like, I am way more of a software enthusiast than I ever will be a gadget. Black Armor, I knew Black was a part of it. So see, I remember I was like, I was this close, man. I've been doing that for ages, and I've always been fascinated by what technology does. And that's kind of what's so thrilling about 3D printing is you have fun with it, but there are times that I'll just look at something like this, right? That I did last night. I'm just like, I can't believe this. I can't buy this, right? They don't.
Right.
So like, oh my God. And I can print like Lego compatible, like clone trooper helmets in a variety of, so I can get my daughter a pink one like she wants, right? Yeah. I mean, to me, it's what tech enables. It's not a 3D printer did this. A 3D printer did this, right? So,
well, there's two things that I think have drawn me to you, and I think this is probably the same for a lot of people. So I agree with you that the tech is the tool, is the means to, like, how can I use this tech to improve my life or do something entertaining? That's number one. I think that's a fantastic message. But the bigger thing with you is that you're always having fun. You're always like, you don't need to geek out on comparing who's got a faster what or what, any of that stuff. Like, you don't need to go deep into the tech to be a fan and an advocate of it. And on that note, we have a clip of I think what encapsulates that personality of yours from the old tech TV days that I'm sure tons of you guys have seen, but we'd be remiss if we didn't play it. Let's Gary, bring it up for us, would you, real quick? We want to look at this clip.
So, are we ready to take a call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you ready to take a call?
I think I am.
Are you okay?
Oh, sorry.
Well, let's put you over with Justin from Madisonville, Kentucky. He's caller number 61. Push the button, cat.
Oh, yes. Really, I need more Pepto-Bismol. I haven't opened it yet. I was eating my nuts.
Oh.
All right, anyway. Almonds, folks. All right, let me, what's the question? I was ready to answer.
You're ready to answer.
I'm sorry.
You didn't even know the question.
Who is it? Justin?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
I was ready to answer a question. I have no idea what the hell you're going to ask.
That's okay. I can forgive you for that.
What can I help you with?
Anyway, my question is about spam on the internet. From my email, I mean. Hello?
Chris.
I can hear you. I'm sorry. I've been doing this way too long. Oh, I'm sorry. So
okay.
I love that clip.
Was everyone laughs? Every time it's viewed. A couple of things for context on that. So that was back in 2002. I want to say 2001, 2002. We were asked by the network, "Hey, come up with some ideas to get more attention for the show." Now, Call for Help was the show that wouldn't die. It died, and I don't think I'm like sharing any secrets or anything, but like the screensavers on Tech TV was the show, right? That was like the golden goose, and then there was everything else. And so Call for Help always drafted screensavers, but they measured our value, our worth by the amount of web traffic that we got. And because we were providing a deep amount of help for a lot of people that had no idea what a parallel port was versus a serial port, right? And which program to use to optimize for X, Y, and Z. Like we got a big chunk of web traffic. Plus, I was able to leverage my Locker Gnome email newsletter to send links to our web pages and get more traffic. So we looked more legitimate in the eyes of the network execs who thought that was the thing. But this was also a time when viral videos, you had to download them. You had to have codecs installed on your computer. YouTube didn't exist. That clip and one other went viral within like one day. It spread that fast, and I knew it like immediately, but not because the network sanctioned it. The network did not sanction the recording of clips. It was a fan who clipped the 2 bloopers from that day, 18 hours of live programming to generate attention. That was like 15 or 16, so I was a little punch drunk. Hence me being Logie. But yeah, that hopefully provides just a tiny bit more context.
It does.
I love it.
You know, that's the thing. So I was talking about retro, right? I'm watching old commercials from the 80s. You know, when I grew up, there are people who see me as their version of retro because they grew up on seeing me on TV. It just blows me away. Like I can't even fathom that. It's incredible.
Well, but what I was getting at before was, and the reason I love that clip so much is that I'm sure, and I appreciate the context, especially if you've been doing this for multiple hours a day. You're recording. You probably recorded all kinds of weird hours of the day sometimes, and all that stuff. But the fact that you're having a good time, you're laughing, you go like supersonic, you know, with your voice, and you just got to roll with it, right? You don't take yourself too seriously. And you have fun, and I think that just makes you, you know, very personable. At least to me, I'm sure you probably took a lot of crap from people, you know, on it. Oh, you got to be more professional. But like,
oh yeah,
really?
Oh god, yeah. I mean, like, so inevitably, people always want to compare you to somebody else, and that always drove me nuts. I'm like, look, I'll be the best me I can be. I'll optimize for myself. You know, be yourself because everybody else is. And I actually saw that on a mug yesterday, and I thought it was very apropos. But it's true. Like they say, well, be more like X, be more like Y. I'm like, no, I'm not them. Like, don't tell them if you like great, that's awesome, but I can't do them. I can't be anything but me. And you know, I hope that, you know, over time enough people find their own voice and their own patterns to be comfortable in their own skin. Understand as well that times change. Like I am not the same person I was 20 years ago. That's how long ago that was. You know, I'm a radically different person, different point in my life, different interests, you know. Yeah. So yeah, it's but you know, yeah, you make a good point. You got to have fun with it. You got it.
Well, yeah, and you make a good point that for a lot of the people, there's a lot of people that that watch us that do their own YouTube channels or are aspiring to get on Twitch and stream maybe the way you do. And I've heard you say it, I've heard Joel say it, I've heard a number of big creators. What makes you, you know, what makes you potentially successful is your ability to be unique and offer something that's different and not try to do what other people are doing, but do yourself. Don't worry about the comparison. Be natural. Offer something of your own, and you'll build the following, right?
Yes, but I'd also be careful about those elusive goals and what you determine as success. Like there are people that need the amount of viewers as full, which is fine. Like don't get me wrong. Like the more people who are watching, you know, the deeper impact you have. But you know, just for apples and oranges, right? I've live streamed to 100 people on YouTube, and YouTube's pretty much dead for me. And I've streamed to 25 people on Twitch. Same kind of content, but what I get out of the stream on Twitch is like 10 times the amount of doing the same dang thing on YouTube. So you tell me which is more successful, the smaller number or the greater number. Now, on the surface, it'd be like, oh, the bigger number. Nope, not at all. Not even close. It's not about the amount you might have in totality. It's about the depth. Right? Think about it like in 3 dimensions, right? It's not about the height. It's about, you know, your what is this? Your Y axis or your X axis. So, you know, it's not about your Z. So that's something that I think a lot of people kind of miss out on, because even as viewers who aren't creators, they'll say, oh, only 20 people are watching. This must suck. No, that's not the case at all. Like if you tune in, you find, wow, this is a really highly engaged group of people. This is speaking to me. I'm having fun. They're interacting with me. You know, this is just, it feels like I'm a part of something and a part of somebody's life that they're sharing with me. So yeah, success, I'm always careful about. I mean, you threw the word out there in the context of like creators and streaming and being yourself. But, you know, you could, as long as you're getting out of it what you want to get out of it, it's successful.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So
yeah, don't
I got a question.
Let anybody else, sorry, don't let anybody else determine success for you. Don't. You know, because they'll try to. They'll try to measure you against their version of success. I'm like, it won't work. Sorry, your question.
No, you're good. I love it. I think it's great advice for all of us. I mean, we love to have fun, and I don't think you know, Pooch and I would ever change the show. It doesn't matter what anybody says. We're us, and that's how it is.
Our metric is, are we having fun, right, Jim? I mean,
exactly.
We're having fun, we're successful. That's
right. And the reason why we do this live is because we love it talking to the people live, you know. And even if we have to pre-record, we're live in the background. And I just love that. But my question is, you know, we're all wearing Star Wars stuff. You said you've been a fan since the 80s. How did that all become? Like, how did that start for you?
I mean, I remember seeing the film. I mean, I only have a glimpse of memory of like the first time I saw Star Wars, like 2 weeks after it was released. I only remember like one scene with X-Wings in it. But because my dad wasn't necessarily into collecting, we didn't necessarily have a lot of money. I didn't get any of that. I didn't know the toys existed. They were off my. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't until years later that, and I could actually grab it because it's across the room here. I ended up buying a Star Wars figure from The Empire Strikes Back, an AT-AT driver. And I say AT-AT because Kenner commercials called it the AT-AT, so it's an AT-AT to me. I had my first figure, and that was pretty much, that was it. That predated darn near everything else in my life, and I would say it's been a lifelong interest, hobby, passion, and you know, that's how it started. It was the toys. It was specifically like the action figures and the collectibles, which makes it you know, that much more thrilling. And if you can hear my printer going in the background, it's because I'm printing, you know, more of these tiles, right? I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. Just like you said,
Sure.
You could, even if you wanted to, you can't. There's certain things you just can't extricate yourself from. You're just, you know, it's too much. I've come to a point in my life where everything else just ticks me off. That's the one thing that doesn't tick me off.
That's what keeps you
Star Wars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know,
I mean, pull back again. Show us the background, because obviously your background speaks for itself, and you've got a ton of collectibles and stuff you've printed, and
I do
and all kinds of stuff back there.
And
now, are you the kind of guy though that's got to keep it? It's got to be like mint in the box.
No. For some things, no. I've opened a lot. I've collected a lot of Vaders over the years. Like, I mean, there's one I 3D printed. It's very much like a Playmobil. It does articulate.
Yeah.
This is with Prusament Galaxy Black. I've been moving on to printed solid filament because David, who's, by the way, David Randolph, a big shout out to him. He's been insanely supportive of what it is that I've been doing.
Fantastic. We love David.
He's with us tonight. So, yeah,
he's here. He froze him already.
That's right. This is like, so I like printing the little Vader helmets. This is actually in the Jesse PLA Brad's glitter here. This is I want to say it's atomic gold. I'm not sure which one that. But yeah, like I said, this is just like one part of it. Like it goes on. This is like maybe a sixth. What you see is a sixth of what's in this room. Mostly Vader, but I collect anything. If it's Star Wars, I'm collecting it. Vintage and
Carl
modern.
Wants to know, sorry, it says Carl wants to know, does the outside of your house look like a Death Star?
Oh, dude, I wish. I wish.
He lives in a Death Star, everybody.
I totally would. Like, if I had a choice, then yes.
I love it.
Well, speaking of Vader, you were showing off the Vaders. Michael Grugel, aka Fix'em Dude, who we love. He did. He just threw $5 our way. We appreciate that. And he said, "Vader Time." Is that means something from your Twitch stream, Chris? It does. It's Vader Time.
I can't hear anything when this is on.
Don't get cocky.
It is Vader Time. Welcome to watching this live stream. We are geeking out about various and sundry things. I can't hear if they're saying anything because his helmet is so thick. Like my
We're only saying good things about you. How do we get you out of Vader Time, or does Vader Time naturally
helmet off? That's how it works.
Oh, okay, good.
So wait, we'll let him put his headset back on.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'm used to balancing and juggling a lot of things when I do this. So
obviously, Vader never wore glasses and headphones.
No.
So my question is, when did Vader get the accent? I mean,
I don't know, dude. He vacillates. Sometimes he's Australian. Sometimes he's British. Sometimes he's whatever the hell that is.
He's an all-inclusive Vader. He's relatable.
Well, I'm reminded of. Did you ever watch Thumb Wars with Bob? I think Bob Odenkirk did Thumb Wars, and there was a part where he says, "Yes, I have a question. If we're all in outer space and there's no Britain in space, how can we all speak with British accents?" And then he pops his head off. Speaking of Dark Helmet, I do have one of these. I printed this.
That was the surprise print you had on stream.
Yeah, kind of fun. Because I couldn't get a Dark Helmet as me any other way. I do have a Dark Helmet figurine that I purchased from somebody else on Etsy. Etsy was amazing, or has been, honestly, for at least the people that are doing things can't otherwise do. Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions too. I'm not. Don't. I do not want to monopolize the conversations.
No, we love it. This is the reason why we bring guests on, because we love to hear what you guys have to say, what you have to say. And I know we're going to jump into some HotMakes, but while we go through HotMakes, there's so many questions.
Okay, cool. Uncle Jesse. I don't know Uncle Jesse, but I know he's big into the resin thing.
Oh, he is a resin master. So first of all, Clayton, you gotta meet Clayton someday. He's an amazing dude. I've been to a number of things. We call him Uncle Jesse on here, but I call him Clayton because he and I shared a bunk at Maker Faire, New York.
Oh, nice.
So we have an intimate understanding of each other. But anyway, he's an awesome dude, resin master. He's one of the brains behind the Resin Lapse. I don't know if you saw that where they're doing the still photography or the time lapse photography with resin printing. But you get really cool effects from that because obviously resin is UV light sensitive. Oh, Jim just got his.
Nice.
So maybe a resin
printer
in your future.
Honestly, I think resin would have to come a long way for me to do it. I'm sure it's come a long way since it started. I'm really happy with filament for the most part. Like, yeah, I do. I know, like, people are saying, "Oh, you need to get this one." I'm like, dude. Okay, let me try to at least come close to mastering a mini, and then kind of move into the area of like very dangerous chemicals potentially. Like, I just know enough. It's interesting to me because I like, the figurines, the smaller things. I've always been ever since my first Star Wars figure, right? It's been a fascination of mine. Resin is like there on my radar, but it's like in the outer ring, right? The outer rim, if you will.
Sure.
Well, as one 3D printing enthusiast to another, you are right on. Master what you have first. Start there. Get to know the machine. Get to know the filament. And don't do any modifications until you're familiar with it. That's my advice to everybody out there, not just you. But
I tell you, I'll go. People ask, about modifications, not just 3D printing, but anything. I'm like, no. Like, I don't like messing with things because they were intended to work this way, and like that's the way they should be. I'm not a tweaker at all. Like, I run counter to the whole culture of you need to modify, you need to, adjust, you need to customize. I'm like, no, I don't. I want it to work. I need it to work. I need it point, click. I'm at the point in my life, dude. I'm almost 50 freaking years old, dude. I want to sit down at my freaking computer and I just need it to work. Okay. I don't set a wallpaper. I don't have time for that. I pick up my phone. I, open up Twitter or whatever, and that's it. I am not a complex creature when it comes, years ago. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. This, that. And then I realized, boy, everything's a pain in the ass. Why is everything breaking? I modified everything. I'm like, nah, dude, this isn't for me. Not for me.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I mean, it's like that with anything in tech, right? I mean, we were talking about that. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I want to have the best video card. I want to upgrade all this stuff. And it's like, the computer never works because you're constantly having it in pieces and you're putting, it's like, you've got, I've always been like, you have your workhorses, and then if you want to get into building your own or whatever, you know, but it's like, don't mess with the one that you're counting on to print the parts that you need for your project one. Or
that's, I completely agree. I just had upgraded. I mean, disclosure, I work for Intel, specifically Intel Graphics Social. And I finally upgraded my Intel Nook, and the Nook is just a small little PC, and they're amazing because I don't want it's out of the way. I'm using that system right now to do the video stream. It's what I use to run the stream. I just need it to be that. And so, I'm usually very hands off, you know, even when it comes to that kind of hardware.
I'll bet a lot of people are surprised to hear that, right? Like tech aficionado that's just like,
but see,
no, I don't need to customize things. I can appreciate it. It works.
That's the thing. The more I know about it, the less interested I am. Like, you know, like there's a joke, and don't get me wrong. There are many things. I mean, technology is so pervasive, you can't avoid it, right? There's a joke of like tech enthusiast versus like a tech IT worker, and like tech enthusiasts, oh, I'm smart homing this, and my doorbell can connect to the webcam, and IT professionals like, if my printer makes a funny noise, I got a gun next to it and I'm gonna, you know, shoot it, right? And like, and so like I'm more on that. I'm like, dude, I don't understand it. Can't, you know, if I don't know what's going on, I don't want to mess with anything. And by the way, the 3D printer here that I got, it's the first printer we've had in this house in 6 years. Like, we don't own printers. Oh my God, no, I'm done.
2D, 3D, 1D,
no printers. Like, I'm just,
printers.
They're just, my God, don't even get me started on printers. Don't get me started. And, you know, but I'm glad there's choice in the marketplace. This is just where I happen to sit on the spectrum.
Gotcha.
I love it. Well, I tell you, I run support for a large hospital doing hardware. So I feel you on the printers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, I don't want to be my own tech support. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
like,
the last thing I want to do. Yeah.
Well, I also love playing with stuff, and you know, on my channel, like here, you can see the rep box into a pallet, into a CR6 SE that's hiding behind my head. But that right there,
it's a hobby.
Just to get you know a couple of test prints was fun to learn. But you know, I think we should jump into some HotMakes. I know we're going wild. People in the chat were asking for it, and while we keep talking, let's look at some stuff. I think Pooch has them ready for us. You ready?
I do.
Oh, Gary, go ahead.
Well, we got to play our intro.
Yeah.
What's the question?
I haven't opened it yet. I was eating my nuts.
That's me.
Oh, excuse me. I was eating my nuts.
Congrats. You're now a soundbite on our show.
Oh, great. That's just great.
We got you on the
Almonds,
soundboard.
folks.
Almonds, folks.
Almonds, folks.
I love it.
Folks.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to just do. We're going to be using that. Well, look, as Jim said, Chris, I know you're kind of you've seen the show before, but you know, just to recap for anybody that's new to the show, we take everything that you guys hashtag HotMakes, which we put on our little scroller down there, and people share throughout the week, and then we collect them all and we opine on them as we are about to do now. So our first one comes from our good friend Matt. I'm going to apologize if I slaughter this. Rogulski. He's known as Rogue Gumshield, but he has an amazing aspiration where he is going to try to print a Benchy a day in a different filament for 365 consecutive days. 365 consecutive benches. Now that's, if anybody out there is trying to do anything for a year straight, no matter how trivial, you know, there's a lot more to it than that. So I applaud the commitment, and we are rooting for you, Matt. I think this is a really interesting aspiration. Chris, have you printed a Benchy before?
No, the first thing I printed was the nut and the bolt. Like, I wanted something. Yeah. The Benchy didn't.
So you have a Prusa Mini then?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm very happy. It sits right here. Like, I'm pretty much sticking to PLA. I know I'm a loser but like something that's just fun, simple, easy, straightforward, and corn syrup
And
starch. Sorry, not corn syrup, corn starch.
Yeah,
and
vegan
and vegan friendly. You're vegan, right?
Vegan friendly. Yes, I am.
Yes.
I'm one of those. Not a preachy vegan though. Meat as you
No.
want.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So anyway, obviously, this is quite the aspiration. You know, when I first got started in 3D printing, I was trying to do just a random make. I did a make every day thing, and I think I only got 65 or 70 days in, and then I was just like, I ran out of steam. It's a lot of work.
I'm pumped for this, and I know filament people out there, any of our manufacturers that are watching right now, I know we got Printed Solid in the house. I didn't saw anyone else yet, but if you haven't already, reach out to them. I mean, they're going to need some love on the filament side, even if it's just a sample enough to print a benchy. He wants to do a different color and a different material. Or a different material every day. So if you haven't already, I know a bunch of us tweeted out and tagged a bunch of companies, but I'm pumped for this. I think he said, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they said they're going to post a time lapse in TikTok every day as well, or something like that.
That's quite the goal, and I'm cheering for him too. I think that'll turn into quite the library of filament, and it'll make an interesting display piece. Anyway, let's see what else we got on the hot makes this week. I'm going back. You know what? I decided to go backwards today.
That won't throw Gary off at all.
Yeah, let me hear. I don't want to mess with Gary too much. It's never good to get your AI upset at you, as I'm sure you're aware, Chris.
Yeah, every time Pooch runs the hot makes, we go backwards and it throws me off.
Yeah, well, good thing you're a computer and you can, roll with these types of things.
Maybe we should have Chris explain to Gary what RAM is.
No, don't ask me, dude. I'd be the last person.
Gary, how much RAM do you have?
At least two.
Two RAMs.
Two RAMs.
2 modules. 2 gigabytes. You know what's funny is are we going to look back on your clip in another 20 years, Chris, and we're going to laugh that we're talking about gigabytes because we're at like terabytes, petabytes, like whatever else. I'm like, oh, how cute was it back when we had like a gigabyte of RAM?
I'm telling you, like I said, I'm somebody else's retro memory nostalgia. All that works. All of it's relevant.
All of it. Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
This is a follow-up. So one of our good friends from the Netherlands, he goes by Proper Printing, but John Schoen, amazing guy in the 3D printing community, very, very good engineering abilities. He entered a Creality contest for the best mod. We were just talking about mods, and he made a mod that basically turned a single extruder Ender 3 into a dual, and it was really neat because it would like roll over and then it would click, and it was a pretty elegant modification so you could get dual extrusion. And he won. Yes.
You're not checking the private chat in the background. Your DMs are open.
Oh, yeah, that's fun.
Let me slide in your DMs.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, maybe they're doing it on purpose, but I was like chatting on the screen there with the
You know what? The funny thing is, like, because I have a ton of tabs open, I'm wondering if it's pulled up in each, like, by default.
It will. It will be.
That's going to be fun. I'm going to have to address that in a second. But anyway, we just wanted to say congrats again to John on his big win.
Congrats.
That was really cool. Let me see.
I'm the one printing in the background, by the way. Someone asked who's Cyberduck. I'm printing in the background.
Oh, Joe. Have you ever seen a Cyberduck while we're talking while Pooch is fixing his DMs?
I don't know. Have I?
You need to. They are amazing. I actually reached out to Chep that's in the house. Hey, Chep. I reached out to Blasto, who's also in the chats, and I'm going to be working with him to play and make one. I have an idea for one. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if you haven't checked out any of the Cyberduck stuff, you have to. It's so cool. So cool. Like homemade. Man, it's awesome stuff. If you just type Cyberduck into Google, Deck, DECK.
Yes. Thank you.
Make sure you type Cyberduck.
Well, Yeah, no, I knew of Cyberduck, which is an FTP client for Mac OS, but
totally different. Yeah.
yeah, no, I assumed.
All right, I think Pooch is fixing his DMs. So we can't slide into them.
You know,
man, that was fun.
just like Chris was dealing with. It's like we've got our little bloopers, and I gotta say, I am really flustered that the default is just like have these things open. I gotta come up with a better. See, this is what happens. Normally, Jim runs.
I love that sound effect.
Yeah, and I'm blowing it.
Imagine doing this, but just being one guy. Like that's what every night. Like if I people are like, hey, do this, dude. I'm like, no. I gotta manage it myself. Like I gotta dummy proof.
Well, Pooch and I both did shows before we got together. And then we did it as two guys, and then we said we need an AI in the background. So there was that. But
and it's not helping. It's not helping. No, we're kidding, Gary. We love you.
What are you looking at, butthead?
All right, what do we got next? Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, so Willow, speaking of the Netherlands, another prolific 3D printing community person. Now, Willow is big in the cosplay space, does a lot of what her latest thing was, I think, like a Pokemon. Was it a Mewtwo? Jim, you're more into the Pokemon than I am, but she made herself a full-size mannequin because she's constantly doing cosplay stuff. So she's
smart
3D printing. And so now she's got a much easier way to fit things without having to stop, try it on. And you know how that is. You don't want to print a Vader helmet that's too small and it gets stuck on your head or any of that.
No, well,
you don't want your cape not fitting. Right?
No, yeah, exactly. No, I actually I'm like the opposite. I don't think I'm ever gonna 3D print a helmet or any kind of cosplay kind of thing. For me, it's not as interesting as the smaller stuff, but that's a really cool idea. To mock.
Well, if you click on the picture, Pooch, you can actually see the full picture will pop open. There you go. So she printed this all on the CR10.
Wow!
And it, she measured and everything down to the feet. I love that there's feet on this mannequin.
No, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's talk about, having something that's a good tool and it's a great, advocate for the, 3D printing. There's really not a lot you can't do with 3D printing, right?
In 4 days, Fix'em Dude says she printed that in 4 days. So, yeah.
You said she did that on a what now? I thought she had her giant Delta.
No, I think she did it all on her CR10. It says in that post, I'm pretty sure it was a CR10.
CR10, CR11, whatever it takes.
Yeah, one of those, things.
Economy PLA, 3D scan, 3D printed. Have you, Chris? Have you tried any or seen any of the 3D scanning stuff?
No, no, I'm sorry. Loyal. I'm pointing at Loyal's comment.
$25.
I agree. Never say
yes,
never, Chris.
I did print a helmet already. Right there. It's a clone trooper, phase 2. Amazing.
Put it on for us.
He makes ant armor now.
Yeah, what is this? Armor for ants? Yes, that's what it is. 3D. Ethan's dad 3D. I think you were mentioning. Shout out if he's still watching. I use that. That's how I scan my head for the dark helmet thing. Builder's Mark. That's his handle. Builder's Mark helped me get the dark helmet fit for it. But Ethan's dad 3D. That EM3D app on iOS is what I used. That he developed it, and it worked. It worked pretty well. I was pretty impressed.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I go ahead.
He was just commenting that she used 3D photogrammetry for doing her mannequin as well. I don't think it was his app. There's other apps that do similar things, but that's a fun app for sure. I know he's got some. I was chatting with him on the side. We're gonna talk about his stuff a little bit more on an upcoming episode. So look forward to that. But moving on, because we gotta keep this train a rolling now that I've got all my DMs closed. I don't have them all closed. Another Bonkers Clockspring box from his Patreon. It's done by the Lightspeed. I'm guessing he did this on his Railcore. He's really big fan. We're talking about modded, you want to talk about the quintessential amazing giant kit printer. You've heard of the Railcore, I assume, Chris?
No.
it's a beast, but it's an expensive build, and now they have kits that you can buy, but it's definitely not a plug and play the way the Prusa Mini is and whatnot. But you get some really amazing results like this. Jim, have you printed this particular model yet? This is a fun one. We were showing off Chris's nut and bolt.
I have not, so I really wanted to get this printed. I think I'm going to print it as soon as I get back. My Prusa Mini is actually sitting on my desk at work, and I haven't been there in 10 days. And I've been blowing up the studio here trying to get everything else reorganized. But I absolutely love this. I mean, he puts out some awesome stuff. It is a sun, and it closes. There's a hinge on it. So it actually closes on top of itself. I think if you look at the next picture.
Yeah. So it prints in place like you're seeing right there, Chris. And then that part of it flips up, and then the threads kind of hold it closed. It's a really wild design. But
what is it?
It's just a fun little thing you can put tchotchkes in. Just a box.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's awesome. Yeah, it's an awesome box.
And so this is the same guy that did the torture toaster we were showing off earlier. Clockspring is known for kind of creating these little tchotchkes, fun boxes that have some kind of mechanical element to them.
All you gotta do is slap something Star Warsy on it, and I'm in.
And you're in.
A Jedi logo, a Vader, whatever.
Anything.
I'm like, yeah, that I can. I would print that if it had Star Wars on it, but
it's got to have. You're saying if it doesn't have Star Wars, you're not going to print it, huh? Except that nut and bolt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far. I have printed a couple of different things, but 9 times out of 10, it's a Star Wars something.
Fair enough.
Love it. Back
to the torture toaster, Jim. You want to talk about this one?
Yeah, you got to bring it in. I can't quite see everything, but
it's so tiny.
Yeah. But basically, this person, when I found this, they tagged that this has become their new torture test, and this thing came out absolutely awesome. I said, hey, don't forget to tag us when you post these on the different machines and stuff, because we'd love to see them, and that's what brought this post on. But this is our torture toaster. Have you seen our torture toaster yet?
I've only been following in an ancillary way. I'm like, why are people tweeting this? Why would people print this? I'm like, oh, this is okay. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a torture test, and this is a giant one. But yeah, it was developed. I challenged Clockspring, and he came up with this outrageous, amazing idea, and now we have the torture toaster.
See, I have a Darth Vader toaster, and I have the flying toasters, the screensaver, but that's it.
We talked about that, man. I love the flying toasters. That's the epic screensaver from back in the day. Yeah, no, this is fun because people print benchies all the time. Is like, okay, it's a benchmarking tool. And when Jim challenged Sven Clockspring, he's like, let's come up with a torture test that's like, it's actually functional, but it's fun at the same time. So leave it to Clockspring to put the fun in functional, and that's how we ended up with the torture toaster. And it's great. So kids love playing with it. I know Abby talks about how her kids fight over hers, and it's a good way for people who are really trying to hone their 3D printing craft to really tune the thing. So you can get a result, but then to get a result where it's like all of the little pieces are moving properly and the tolerances are just right, takes some tuning, and that's why we have this as a tool to help with that. Very cool 3D printed beginner. And look at that. Tom Sandlander getting in on the fun as well.
There you go.
Always good to see Tom.
Yeah.
Now a lot of toasters this week, Jim. You and we love our toasters.
This one, that one isn't functional, but I had to say I put this one in here not for only that's the biggest toaster we've seen, 270%, I think. Yeah, but the reason I really put this in because he used the banana for scale. I had to. I mean,
got to put the banana in for scale.
Llama 3D print Llama made that, and he's using it. And yeah.
You want a banana?
All right, what's next?
Spoticus. I like this.
Yes.
I am Spoticus.
This is
quite the furry right there. What do you think,
dude?
How do you even do we get the details on how you actually get the spotting and the did you have to skin an actual leopard for this? I hope not. No leopards were actually
There's
harmed,
a naked leopard running around somewhere. Man, this This is next level.
Dude.
That was awesome.
Spotty shipped today. NFT stretch for huge toofs. Toofs like teefs. I got it.
Toofs, yeah.
Colors based on Golden Tiger and California Desert replaces the original Clockwork Saber. I'm not familiar with that work, but we'll have to. Clockwork Creatures, looks like another prolific cosplayer as well. We'll have to dig a little bit deeper, but obviously, if Willow follows her, must be something good. That looks like a lot of time and energy and skills that I don't have.
Amen.
To come to a result like that. I mean, we talk about makes of all different kinds. 3D printing is a big part of the tools that we like, but obviously showing off stuff that like requires sewing and other modes of making. I mean, I'm just in awe.
I don't even really paint anything. I'm like, when it's printed, it's done. Like I'm good. I'm one step. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm with you, brother. I call myself a broad strokes maker. Just this done. I don't sand. I don't do any of that.
I might do a little sanding. But...
Hey, real quick, Chris, I gotta ask. I know we're 7:05 right now. We're running a little late. Are you good right now? I know you have the stream, so.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good right now. Thank you for the sensitivity.
Yeah.
I can probably go, a little while longer, but for sure.
Yeah, let's.
We only got 2 left, so we apologize.
Okay, no, don't apologize. I'm, the one who made us go late because I missed the link when you sent it to me.
You're good. You're good. I just wanted to make sure. $25 says Chris will be printing a leopard suit.
I am not going to print. Oh,
yes.
Just all you have to do is put a Star Wars something on it, and he'll print it. He said that.
Yeah, just like make it an alien in a cantina. I'm like, yes, I need to print that.
Next thing you know, next week he has Jar Jar Binks fully printed.
I already have the Jar Jar Binks figure. So,
what is your take on Jar Jar? Really quick.
I'm okay if it's see, that's the thing is like, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? It's all Star Wars to me. Like I just gotta love it. So
it's all good.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
You're very Star Wars tolerant. Very Star Wars.
You kind of have to be. I mean, there's some people in the community that are just like, dude, it's like, this is my escape. Like, this is how I escape life. It's not real. So
yeah, I had to throw this.
We talked about this gentleman earlier, Filament Frenzy, Tom Jackson out of the UK. Amazing abilities on this with this guy. I mean, he's got all the printers. He's got everything dialed in. He is a student of how to get good results with multi-material and all kinds of stuff. This is a look at the bowl. Let's see. The designer was 3D Print Bunny, and he did this on his Mark III S, so the big brother to your little mini. And it's got an E3D online Homera, so he's modded it, which we know you don't do, Chris. But man, look at this result.
That's incredible.
It's got the little droopies. Like now, this is interesting where the model is actually taking advantage of something that the printer does to like let gravity do these little droopy loops.
I think I saw. I don't know if it was from the same username. I use TweetDeck, so I see a lot of things that get accelerated in the community. But like, it was almost like he was making a birthday cake with filament, like of different colors and those kind of loops. And I was like, oh my god, it looked like icing. Like it was.
Isn't that a cool technique?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. I love that people are pushing the back. Did you ever see Joel's hairy lion that he did like way back in the day?
No.
So he did this massive lion, and like the model was one of the first to kind of take advantage of like it created like this sacrificial thing, and it would do these like long singular extrusions that when you took it off and then you hit the whole thing with a blow dryer, it would like make him all droop down, and it looked like the lion's mane.
Oh, cool.
And it's just a neat effect that somebody just kind of came up with that you wouldn't really be able to do any other way, as so more of that. And our last, so this was our penultimate and our ultimate make this week, coming from the 3D printing professor. He's a professor. He's gone to school for it. He has the PhD, and he's been promoting his printablock.com. So this is a neat thing. Joe over at 3D Printing Professor has kind of created this little toy set that uses this kind of block structure on all of his stuff. And I know he sells a lot of these on his what was he? Is he using Patreon? It's a Kickstarter. He does a
Kickstarter for him, and this was one of the late prizes or late what's it called? It was an edition, I think, and I love this. All of the print-to-block stuff is really cool. If you have not seen that yet, But he decided to do monsters, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, neat little modular design, kind of, Lego-ish connect. I mean, there were so many like neat little building block systems from when we were younger. Chris, you probably remember. You remember doing like connects or.
I'm an adult fan of Lego. I still have Lego. I bought a Lego set today, as a matter of fact. So yes, I am intimately familiar with Lego, at least.
With Lego and other bit. You mentioned you had.
I knew other
Playmobil.
Yeah, I like. Systems. Yeah, although Playmobil to a certain. I mean, they do have
stretch goals.
Yeah. Playmobil is okay, but for building, like the modularity, like Lego is where it's at. So.
Sure, of course. Yeah. Of course.
Well, and he kind of he put this all together after Lego started blowing everybody up for making printable Legos. Yeah. So he's like, fine, I'll do my own thing. And it was awesome. I love the printable block stuff. If you've not checked it out, I highly suggest everybody out there check them out. I know we're running late, and he has a stream to get to. So I tell you what, let's do a giveaway. Are you going to stick around for the giveaway?
I'm letting you know, like everybody that is going to watch me is watching this stream right now.
We're gonna raid. Except it's not a real raid, but we're gonna raid.
Dude, tell that the raid. Then you have to wait until I start streaming in order to raid. So raiding is the best part of Twitch. Yes, I can stick around.
Yeah. So I tell you what, everybody after this stream, let's jump on the Twitch. The link is in the description of this video if you don't know where to find Chris on all the things, but this Twitch link is in there. Let's jump on Twitch and let's blow up his Twitch stream. And we'll have like a HotMakes after party over there. Yes, a lot of fun.
I will give everybody 1,000,000 Pirillo popcorn. That's the channel points. Like
what? You hear that? Pirillo popcorn.
Yes. 1,000,000 Pirillo popcorn.
Yes, we're gonna be freezing and unfreezing all night.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
You won't be able to talk.
Well, Chris, if you're going to hang around for the giveaway, first of all, Jim, tell everybody what we're giving away. This is your last chance to get into the form, like you said. Courtesy of Things. What are we giving away this week, Jim?
$50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of Things. Thank you so much. Becky is Miss Thang. We'll call her. Becky is with us, and I am so pumped. They've been doing this for quite a while now. It sounds like we're going to keep doing it. Stay tuned for more information on that.
That's a good giveaway, dude. That's an amazing giveaway.
And it's
Amazon,
anywhere
I know,
in the world that Amazon is, which is everywhere.
Right. Yeah, if you have Amazon in your country or around you, you can win. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, which is awesome. And again, like I said, everybody say welcome, Becky. She's with us for Things now. And we expect to have a lot of fun with her. If you haven't entered, I'm grabbing the names momentarily. So make sure you've done that. Thank you so much, everybody out there, for all the donations tonight, to freeze, unfreeze, to see the penguin on my face, whatever it is. I will take penguin back end on my face all stream long for how much fun we had.
Who wouldn't? So, Chris, here's what you could do. Since you're hanging around as our honorary guest, you get to spin the wheel, and so we'll do a little countdown, and you get your arms out. You'll see. We'll pull in the wheel once Jim's ready. And then we'll do a little 3, 2, 1. Gary plays our little drum roll. It's a fun little production. And then you give us a spin.
Yeah.
I can do that. Just call me Vanna White.
We put you to work. We put you. You don't just no freeloaders on this stream, buddy.
I guess not.
No freeloader. I can't wait till we all blow up his stream after this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm extruding in my pants.
Oh boy.
I'll bet you are.
Yeah. About that.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Which way are we going? You got to go this way. Now, he's on the bottom, so we'll let. There you go. Make it bigger.
Am I pointing the right way?
Yeah, you are pointing the right way. You are pointing the right way. So can you get any bigger? Can you get the wheel any bigger, Jim?
Let's see.
This is the extent of our special effects.
I can reach into the window. I'm reaching into it. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Not bad.
It's my ping time.
Yeah.
That's
who's the winner?
All right. I don't know if we've seen you before, but yeah, we have to be here. So let's see.
Well, they would know.
I mean, they're taggable. They're taggable.
That's a good sign.
You're
We'll wait for a little bit.
Hang on. Shout out to
there it is.
I'm sorry. Brian Vines. Brian Vines knows Weird Al Yankovic's UHF.
Wheel of Fish.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry. Anyway,
we are very big fans of the Wheel of Fish. It is not, oftentimes we refer to it as such. But yes, red snapper, very tasty fish. Good choice. Excellent choice. We love Brian.
Yeah. I get comments in my videos. Weird Al called. He wants his hair back. You Weird Al's brother.
Watch his
stuff
video.
like that, which is funny. I love.
No. He just uploaded a video. You talk about hair. Watch Weird Al's video that he uploaded yesterday to his channel. Like, you have to watch it.
I'll have to go look at it.
Seriously.
Yes.
Are you talking about the mini movie Oscar thing?
I don't know if it was a mini movie Oscar, but maybe that's what he was doing. You got to watch it. It was crazy.
I may be wrong.
Well, if anybody's been following the Twitters, last week Joel featured a clip of Brian Vines' video and said he had fabulous hair. And then it turned into a duel, and then between Brian Vines and David Tobin and I. And Brian posts this slow-mo, like luscious, like hair flip, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna beat that. And then I got sick, and I've been like this, and I'm like, all right. So Brian, I don't know if you were caught at the very beginning of the stream, but when it posts, the intro of the stream was for you on that one. All right.
Hey Jim, can we get some hair flips from you real quick?
I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
I just,
you do now.
Oh yeah.
I hope you're recording that. We need some slow mo.
Hang on.
We need some slow mo action clips for later.
I do have to say, I know we're short of time, but I do have to say, I don't know if we can bring it back up, but I do love your hair. Like on the video that you did about with the Ram that we showed.
Oh yeah,
my
that
was hair.
No,
it's 1990s bro. Yes.
Yeah. That's how my hair grows, man. I mean, it's my genetics.
It's the
Pull it
Pirillo.
up for like 2 seconds. I'll pull it back up.
Gigahertz. Basically, this is just how fast your computer processes your request.
Yeah, that's why I keep it short now, but every so often I'll grow it out, and you can tell I look like that. Which I love. I love that. I love the look. So it's mine. I'm glad I like it.
You gotta love your look.
Let me just. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
We had a fun time, Chris. We are really thankful. Thanks for staying late with us. We know you got to go now. Tell everybody where they can find your stream. You do it every night at 6 p.m. on Twitch.
Yeah, every night 6 p.m. on Twitch.
What can they expect?
I'm a variety streamer, so I largely interact with the people who show up. So the show is largely defined by the people who are there. And I'm usually 3D printing at least one thing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm printing some not Darth Vader. I could do that, but some Death Star, not walls, but tiles. Printing this because I've got the Jesse PLA, the Overcast Gray currently up onto the printer. So I'm 3D printing something pretty much every day. Live streaming every night at 6 p.m. Pacific. That's Seattle time. Amazon's everywhere here. And hanging out and chatting, like interacting with chat. Sometimes we play word games, answer questions. Sometimes, it's just whatever happens to be happening. It's just chatting.
I've been on. It's a lot of fun. Your energy shows through with it, and I love it. I wish I had the ability to be on it more, but we will go raid. Well, anybody that's on here, if you're gonna be, after show, you're looking for something to do, 6 p.m., we're gonna hop over to Twitch and hang with Mr. Chris Pirillo himself. Not to be confused with Chris Pirillo, who's a totally different guy.
Yeah, he's crispy.
Yeah.
Crispy
Rillo.
Not as good hair.
Yeah, his hair sucks.
Yeah, toast. That was toast.
Yeah, toast. Oh man, it was so much fun. Thank you for being on. Thank you to Thangs, our sponsor. Thank you to all of our generous donations out there. Printed Solid, Loyal Moses, too many to name. Obviously, Fix Some Dude. We love all of you guys. And keep tagging those HotMakes, send them our way so we can show them off and tell you how awesome they are, right? Jim?
I agree. Don't forget, you can find us on Twitter. Like you just said, hashtag HotMakes. It's on the bottom right now. Every Monday night, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pooch time. That's a trademark. Don't use that. Yeah. And we're just here to have some fun, like we talked, and we will see you next week. Anything else? Am I missing anything else? I don't know.
Well,
Next week
we got the new channel. Don't forget. So we're gonna start sharing that. We're gonna start simulcasting, and we need your help for every sign up so that we can build up the new channel. So we are moving off of the Edutech slowly. We're gonna kind of pilot that simulcast and stuff, but we will let you guys know what that link is, and you will watch that on the Twitters and all the social medias and stuff going forward.
I put a link in the chat. So when you guys leave here, before you head over to Chris's Twitch channel, go give that a quick subscribe.
Yes.
Listen to Gary too. He'll log on your computer and corrupt the whole thing.
Or I'll take your birthday.
And he'll take your birthday.
Whatever
that means.
My birthday.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, hang out right there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you. But everybody else, thank you guys so much for coming. We will see you next week where we hopefully start using the new channel, and we'll go both for a little bit. But hey, everybody, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great night. Go check out Chris's Twitch right after this. He'll be on soonish. We'll call it soonish, right? All right. He's a variety streamer. Let's give him some variety.
40 minutes.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you so much, everybody.
Almonds, folks. I haven't opened it yet. I was eating my nuts.